Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NBA free agency period. We got so much to talk about. Like, I don't even know where to start. So I was gonna write down all of the signings and stuff and go through it, but I think we just talk it off the cuff. Now I'm wearing New York jersey today because, boy, they lost. They lost heavily. So let's start with the biggest news of all. So let's start with. I'll take these off. I don't need these. Let's start with the biggest news. So, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving go to Brooklyn, and Jordan too, and the Knicks get no one. That's the biggest news of the day. Obviously, there were so many rumors for so many months saying, pretty much since a year ago, that KD and Kyrie were going to go to the Knicks. Now, obviously, it didn't happen. So, huge thing there. I think they obviously want to play in New York City. They ended up going to Brooklyn across the river, which makes it quite interesting. Sorry, I just thought there was another tweet coming through there. I've been, my phone's been buzzing all day with these tweets. But anyway, so that's the biggest news from that. Obviously, this is huge for Brooklyn. It means they're going to be definitely not this season coming, but the season after should be a contender with when KD comes back. So that's an incredible thing. The only one that's probably a bit weird in those signings, is DeAndre Jordan. He's a really good friend of KD and Kyrie, hence why he's being signed. But it kind of puts Jared Allen in a weird place. I think Jared Allen has a starting spot in this league, and I think he's going to become a very good player. It's be interesting to see how they work with those two bigs, whether or not you're going to be starting Jared Allen at the start of the season and using DeAndre Jordan off the bench, or the other way around, and then just waiting until Jared Allen is just flat out better so you can put him in the starting five. It's a great rotation of fives between the bench and starting, but I think it's just a little bit weird for him in this situation, but for everyone else, honestly, it's a great move. Now, this led to a second move, obviously, because, once you sign Kyrie, you don't want to have D'Angelo Russell anymore. So, D'Lo is also being part of a signing trade, and he's gone to Golden State, which, no one saw that coming, right? So, as far as we know, I don't think we know about anything coming back from Golden State to Brooklyn. But we do know that Golden State are going to be sending Iggy to the Grizzlies in order to get some cap room, in order to sign D'Angelo Russell to the max. Now, the biggest thing, there was a tweet that I saw. I've actually got it on my phone here. There was a tweet from one of the guys. Here it is, from Nate Duncan. I believe is he ESPN? I'm not sure. So Nate Duncan, he goes, with the Iguodala trade, Russell and Clay, both maxes and dump Livingston's guaranteed deal. Golden State Warriors 5 players, a mere $18.2 million below the hard cap to fill out 9 roster spots. Even if they keep McKinney, Graham, Napier, $13.1 million for 6. Goodbye Looney, Cousins, Cook, possibly Bell. What that means is they are at the very, very end of their money. So definitely cannot get Cousins back no matter what they want to do. So you're looking at 3 guards as their big 3. So interesting thing, so now Cousins is a free agent. It's going to be weird to see where he goes. I kind of had it in my head that he was going to re-sign with the Warriors. I didn't think they were going to get another star, and I thought Cousins would re-sign there. I don't know where Cousins can go. Maybe he'll end up on the Clippers or even the Lakers. That's a good place for him to go, especially once they strike out on Kawhi, maybe. Kind of hopefully. I don't want Kawhi to go to the Lakers. So they're going to be a very interesting team to watch next year. That's the first time we can say that for a while. They're always interesting because they've got so many star talent, but you're going to have 3 guards. Now, when Clay comes back, I guess Clay moves to the 3, and you play Curry, D'Angelo, Clay in that order, 1, 2, 3. But it's odd. It's odd. It means they're a lot smaller. And then you're playing Draymond definitely at the 4, and with whatever center you can keep at the 5. So very interesting lineups going to be coming out of Golden State. So that's going to be very, very bizarre, and I think it's going to be very interesting to watch. It'll be really cool, though, with the backcourt of just D'Angelo and Curry. I think they're going to be really fun to watch. So, it sets them up to have another season where they can fight. and they can definitely fight for a championship. However, I've said this for a long time. I think Iggy was the reason they won a lot of championships. I know they've had all their star players. They've had Durant. But I've always said that Iggy is the thing that's kept them together, because they've always been so top-heavy that once their bench unit comes out, they just die. Now, this season they played really well in the playoffs with their bench unit. Looney especially played brilliantly. But Iggy was always the guy that kind of like kept them going. And would just save them in so many circumstances. But he's not going to be there anymore. And Durant obviously is the other big one. He's not there anymore. I don't think they go far in the playoffs next year, the Warriors. But I think they have a good enough thing where they're going to be in the playoffs. Definitely going to be in the playoffs. And they're going to fight. And they might get through to the second round. Maybe even Western Conference Finals. But I don't see them going to the finals themselves. But they're going to be an interesting team. I don't know how they're going to go. But that's one of the many things happening. We don't know if anything's going back to Brooklyn for the D'Angelo Russell trade. But we know D'Angelo Russell is now a Warrior, and Iggy is now on the Grizzlies. So, where do we go from here? What's the next one we can talk about? I think we go to Al Horford. So this is definitely a big one here. So Al Horford has signed with the 76ers. And then from that, Jimmy Butler is looking to go to Miami. Now, this is a very, very confusing trade. So Miami and Philly have an agreement where Jimmy Butler goes to Miami, and then Miami will trade some of their assets out to another team that has cap space in order for Miami to have the cap space to take in Jimmy Butler. So the initial trade set out was this. So it was a 3-team deal. It was 76ers, Miami, and Dallas. So 76ers send Jimmy Butler to Miami. Miami sends Josh Richardson to 76ers, and they also send Goran Dragic to Dallas, but there was no word of there was anything compensation-wise from Dallas or anything more going to Dallas for taking in that cap. So that was the first initial trade that was reported on. Not too long after, that trade was kind of not axed, but then it became that no, Goran Dragic is not part of this. And it's actually Kelly Olynyk and Derek Jones Jr. that's going to Dallas instead of Goran Dragic. But this trade's still looking good. Now, it's looking like Dallas is kind of like, yeah, well, I don't know if we like them either. And they're not looking like they're going to take that, which meant that Miami now haven't had the ability to get rid of the players they have under their cap in order to get Jimmy Butler. So, from all accounts, what Miami is working for the next 5 days, basically, they're going to be looking very heavily in order to try and move some of their pieces, more specifically like a Goran Dragic, somewhere else in order to get them the cap space to sign Jimmy Butler and then have the ability to play him. So, very interesting thing. I think from a 76ers point of view, they want to trade with Miami. They want to get a Josh Richardson, which would be a great fit for them. But very confusing. From the Dallas point of view, now, as you guys might know, I am a Dallas fan. And from a Dallas point of view, it makes sense to get Goran Dragic. He's an expiring deal. He's Slovenian with Luka. They know each other very well. They would be very good together. It makes sense. But they are also looking Dallas at they were looking at signing a Pat Beverly or Danny Green. Now Pat Bev has resigned for 3 years, $40 million at the Clippers. So he's resigned there, which means only Danny Green is left for Dallas to go for. So maybe they wait until the Kawhi sweepstakes are over so they can maybe go for Danny Green, or they now just go, okay, we'll take you Goran Dragic and have something with the cap space they got. They got $30 million in cap space, so they got plenty to play with to sign a couple players. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. They're one of those people who are just looking at one of those teams looking at the last kind of free agents that could just fit the team. But yeah, I mean, from all accounts, I think Miami and 76ers, they will get this trade finalized. I can't see it going any other way. I mean, there are rumors that teams in LA, like the Lakers and the Clippers, are going to now try and trade for a Jimmy Butler, but I feel like it's going to be a Miami thing. I think Miami have the pieces that they want, the 76ers, and they're now just going to look for one more trade, which I don't think it'd be that hard here. It would have been expiring Goran Dragic. I think there are teams out there that wouldn't mind it. So that'll be very interesting as well. So they were like the big main ones. Now you did have Julius Randle go to the Knicks, and Bobby Portis also going to the Knicks. Neither of those are really big. They're not really massive things. I mean, Julius Randle he's a solid player. He should do quite well on a team where he's basically going to be the number one option. I think he'll be a good player and he'll do well. I don't think he's going to be amazing, but he signed for a bit. Sorry, the other big piece of news that came out was JJ Redick. As I scroll down here on Reddit, JJ Redick's gone to New Orleans for a 2-year, $26.5 million deal. That hurts Philly a lot. I think it's a lot of money, which is good that they got rid of. But then that's a shooter, and shooters of JJ Redick's quality are just few and far between. But damn, New Orleans look like they're going to be a good team next year. Like, I'm not saying they're going to win a championship. God, no, they're not going to win a championship. I've personally, and I've said this, I'm not that high on Zion. I think Zion will be a good player, but I don't think he's going to be LeBron level. I mean, I've watched him. I watched a couple of his college games and stuff, but I mean, he's good. We'll see how he goes in the NBA. There's always players that do better in the NBA, do the same in the NBA, or worse in the NBA. We'll see how he goes. He's got a lot of gifts. He should do well, but let's not ride him and say he's the next LeBron. But if he can live up to 80% of what the media have predicted for Zion Williamson, and if Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram can continue to improve, I really can see the Pelicans getting a playoff spot, or at least fighting very hard for one. Now, I'm going to say playoff spot for a lot of teams because there's a lot of teams in the West you could make a case for. Honestly, there's a ton. So it'll be very interesting to see how that works because, I mean, they've got shooting, they've got really good passing and playmaking, they've got explosiveness, they've got good players in most positions. Honestly, it's a really good team. It's a really good team. And actually, now I think about it, is JJ Redick coming off the bench? Because Lonzo Ball is your starting point guard. Drew Holiday is your starting 2. You're not playing JJ Redick at the 3 or Drew Holiday at the 3. They're too small. I mean, you could probably play Drew, but... Is JJ Redick a 6-man? Because, damn, that's amazing if he is. They are going to be a good team. Honestly, put them on your watch list for League Pass next year. Pelicans are going to be awesome to watch. One other one I like, actually a lot, Ricky Rubio to the Suns. I am a massive fan of Ricky Rubio to the Suns. Now, speaking to friends of mine, and they're like, he's overrated, they're not going to do well. I personally think that the Suns have now transitioned. Wow. I can speak so well. Transitioned to become not a good team, but they're no longer terrible. They're not going to be nowhere near the worst in the NBA. They're going to be better than the Wizards. They're going to be better than the Knicks. They're going to be above the bottom tier. They're going to be at the bottom tier. Then there's going to be the next tier, and I think that's where Phoenix will be. And they'll be pushing the tier above, which will be just about to fight for playoffs. You've got a pass-first point guard with a rim-running, super athletic, super talented shooting big man in DeAndre Ayton, and an incredible shooter in Devin Booker. I really like it. I think it's the perfect fit for the Phoenix Suns. I've been saying they needed some kind of pass-first point guard, and dude, that's literally perfect for them. He's not going to take up a lot of shots. he's what they needed in that team. I think they're going to be a very fun team to watch, and watch for DeAndre Ayton to do drastically better. He already was a great rookie. He's going to be a better sophomore, I guarantee it, because he's going to get so many better looks that he just didn't get last year. Also, I'd imagine that the efficiency for Devin Booker, it's going to go up. So, dude, I love it. I think he's going to be really good for them. I think they're going to be a good team. So, I look forward to watching them play. So let's go through a couple of the small ones. Obviously, no, they're not small. Kemba Walker signed with the Boston Celtics. We've known this now for about a week. I like Kemba. He should fit really well with the Celtics. They're going to be really good next year again. Unless these young stars really just are egotistical, they will be really good. Derrick Rose signed a 2-year, $15 million deal to the Detroit Pistons. Good on him. Love Derrick Rose. It should be a fun team to watch as well. I'm all for Derrick Rose anywhere because Derrick Rose is so cool. We've got Tobias Harris re-signing for $180 million at the 76ers. Not surprising. Knew he would get that most likely. He was pretty much getting a max somewhere. So Sixers going all in. It's pretty cool. Chris Middleton got a ton of money from the Bucks, which is very nice. He was always going to get that out of, I believe, as well. Here's another one of he's going to get the max. He was just going to. Does he deserve the max? I don't know, but he is an all-star, so he got it. You had Clay on a 5-year, $190 million contract. It's like $38 million a year. That's insane, but it makes sense. Clay's Clay. He's getting the max guaranteed. I think... What other... Brogdon. I forgot about Brogdon. So Brogdon's been traded from Milwaukee to Indiana. And Bojan Bogdanovic has gone from Indiana to Utah, which is very interesting. Brogdon's really good. I think he's going to fit Indiana perfectly, especially with Oladipo coming back. That backcourt seems amazing. So I'm really happy with that. That's going to be a really cool team. Indiana's done really well today. And then you've got Bogdan Bogdanovic going to Utah, which again fits really well. That's extra shooting for Utah, which they've just not had. Bogdanovic and Joe Ingles now on the same team. That's going to be incredible shooting off the bench and on the floor. You're pretty much always going to have it. So love that from Utah. Utah and Indiana have done very well this off season in just getting things that are going to make them better. Utah obviously getting Mike Conley as well. So huge news for them. I think they're going to be really good. Really, they're just small pieces, but they're pieces that just fit. And especially with Utah, if Donovan Mitchell can continue to grow and become a superstar, honestly, that the sky is the limit for them. They're going to be, or as who was it? Was it? I can't remember which person it was, but the ceiling is the roof for them. They're going to do pretty well. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Taj Gibson signed with the Knicks. Sorry, it's very hard to keep a straight face with that one. It just doesn't make sense. He's alright. Sure. There was one interesting one. This will probably be the last one we can talk about. Nerlens Noel has re-signed with the Thunder and then asked the Thunder to not have it anymore, so they've cancelled it. So I don't know if that's going forward or not. It's very interesting. I'm not sure. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. But I'm going to end it there. There's a couple more things. There's a Thaddeus Young deal here, which I didn't even see before, but that's a lot of money. For Thad Young, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. So there's a bunch of other ones here. Oh, well, sorry. I'm going to say this quickly. As of now, Oladipo is the oldest pacer in the roster. No player is older than 27. Wow. That's insane. Okay. Dude, Indiana, they're making some good moves. I'm all for Indiana. Anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. There's really not much to talk about. I mean, there's a bunch to talk about with the free agency, but I'll do a video probably tomorrow to go over the smaller stuff. Things like Kristaps Porzingis and how Dallas are looking, for example. I might even make some, after the real period is done, I might make some team-focused videos as well, just to go over their roster and see how they're going and how they're looking for next season. But till then, guys, enjoy this crazy free agency. And let me know what was gonna say I'll see you next time. I was doing my ending, but let me know what you think down below. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.